support, bounce back into that 200 moving average again, filling that level, bounce into the 20 exponential moving average. See if good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Well, this is your boy Francis. Welcome to the Trading Success Show. If this is your first time, you're welcome to this channel. Well, we're gonna be talking about stocks as usual. However, we're going to be talking about the market, what we're expecting the market to do this coming week, and as our expectation last week didn't pan out the way we wanted. However, looking at Finviz at this moment, you can see how the market actually dived deep to the downside. And what are we expecting with our 401k, our Roth account, or our 529, and so on and so forth? So what do we have? What have we got? Because a whole lot of people wouldn't want to start up that 521 just because of the way the market is acting up, or their Otma account, or even trying to put money into that Roth account or 401k. But guess what? This is an opportunity to actually look for that long-term investment right there. Though you can reduce your position, your percentage contribution, if you do wish to do that. Know that you have to be buying at the low side of the market, because we're really extended far off enough for one to begin to reposition into that 401k, into that long-term portfolio, right? But remember, this is not a recommendation to buy or to sell any stock or equity. This is for entertainment purposes only. So now, let's pretty much talk about what the market is looking like. Looking at the S&P overall, we see how technology is actually leading us to the downside, followed by healthcare, of course, and scattered names in the industrial, right? Looking at the overall sector, of course, we have technology there, we have healthcare, we also have communication, consumer cyclical there, and as well as some basic material. But on the green side, we do have some financial side, which is the insurance companies, and of course consumer defensive and oil and gas. Okay, so with that being said, telecommunications, pretty much we're looking at this telecommunications like TMUS and TVZ and all that, they're doing good. However, the market is actually pulling lower, diving lower, going down, just because why? Because of inflation, because of tariff, right? Inflation is not really like a big ticket item here in the market. However, we're looking at how tariff news and all that can rattle the market, can really get the market selling off. Okay, it is not inflation. Looking at as per Market Watch, you're gonna see how a whole lot of Fed is not gonna do anything. Okay, Fed is not going to do anything until they figure out what is going on, until they actually have an forward idea of what the tariff going to really do. Fed pretty much sees higher inflation and slower U.S. economy due to uncertainty tied to the Trump tariff, right? So that is what is causing the issue. That is what is really driving the market to the downside. Okay, so how are you going to react as per your portfolio, right? So if for any reason now we're hearing something about the auto tariff, okay, this is going to impact cars, buying cars and stuff to the American people. They're going to see the effect on this increase in terms of percentage on their buying. Okay, so interest rate, pretty much nothing. Pretty much looking at the core PCE from on Fridays, right? We actually got 2.8%. Our expected data was 2.7%. So nothing really much. It's still okay year over year, but overall we're looking at tariff. Tariff is going to become a major issue for this market, and it can potentially crash the market as well. Right now we are in a correction phase, so you know, we can be corrected for a while, and even possibility of being getting that crash in the market. Okay, Benzinga pretty much has so many articles in terms of tariff and the 20% tariff and all that, but I will be talking about big names, solid names. Even Bitcoin actually does not like you know, inflation, does not like the issue with tariff. Mostly tariff, Bitcoin doesn't like that at all. So that's the reason why Bitcoin actually pushed lower this couple of days. So let's talk about the market, what we're expecting the market to do this coming week, and of course see how price action will actually impact what we got going on. Look, like a one-day performance based on the close here, we have utilities leading pretty much, and of course healthcare. But the week, we're looking at the week, the overall performance for the week, and that is where we got our performance there. So SPY here, looking at SPY, we have, so on SPY we're looking at levels, different levels, and actually SPY, which is our Spider 500 ETF, which is that market, and we're looking at price making this W shape. Okay, and of course once we find support, okay, once we find support either at 555 or 550, then we're gonna have that W shape and boom to the upside. But if the tariff, right, still continues, then we're going to have problems. We're going to have market continue to sell off and sell off and sell off. So be ready. Okay, looking at this W-shaped pattern here too, boom, right, and then we got that level right there. So right now we're looking at momentum playing out all the way to the downside. That is because of tariff. That is because of uncertainty in the actual federal government, uncertainty in the market, uncertainty in terms of what is really going on. We have some form of control over inflation thanks to J Powell, but tariff issue will continue to pull the market to the downside if for any reason there is still continuation of uncertainty. So that is the market for you. That is what we're looking at. Also pretty much taking a look at QQQ as well. The same pattern, the same reaction is going on, and we are having issue with the 200 moving average. 200 moving average is that great spot where momentum can continue to build, momentum can continue to come in to the upside. But look at what happened. Pretty much tariff is going to continue to really rock this market to a point of no return, but there will be a return. However, the tariff is going to be a big issue here. Bearish looking chart in terms of the IWM, which is our Russell 2000 ETF. A bearish looking chart. The 200 is your support right there. And also taking a look at Netflix, of course, and Netflix is another big name. Okay, I'm gonna be bringing out all these names. I'm gonna be analyzing them, and they are going to be that long-term hold, that long-term name. These are the name pretty much to actually look in and say, okay, is this a good buy? Is this a good spot? It is not my recommendation. However, these are solid names for the future, for the long term, for that ultimate account, for your Roth if you do have these names. Anyway, Netflix is also another one. Right now we're breaking through 20 and 50 exponential moving average, and what we got? Pretty much we failed support and to the downside. Support right here to the downside. So keep an eye out right here at 925 if a price can hold in terms of support right there. LLY also another name to keep an eye out. Right now we have support right here. See price try to hold support, double bottom here, possibly to the upside, but for now 820, that is going to be your support. Apple, of course, we're not missing Apple out. Apple failing trend at this point. Looking at this beautiful trend here, don't mind my straight line. Right, so we're failing that level, failing support right here, and of course see if price can really hold. The chart is really broken in my opinion right there, so keep an eye out there. Microsoft as well, Microsoft, we're looking at support, actually bounce off support to close at 378. So for long term, you know what to do, guys. This is channel down, so price could, possibly get back into this channel right here. So keep an eye out on Microsoft as well, pending tariff issue, pending tariff action on April 2nd or April 1st, April 2nd. See what what does happen. Anyways, support at this point is 190 on Amazon. Keep an eye out. Amazon is coming from the 250 area to 190. Look at this. This is a long-term name to actually hold in anticipation for that move in the next 3, 4 years or 5 years to come. So keep an eye out there as well. Tesla, of course, Tesla actually climbed and moved and pushed up to the 200 moving average, only to fail that level again. I actually failed this level right here and then sold off, found support, bounced back into that 200 moving average again, failing that level, bounce into the 20 exponential moving average, see if support at 260 holds. If it does hold, which we actually close at 263.55, so see if it does hold, and then we'll continue back to the upside. If it doesn't, we're going to be looking at that 260 break down to 250 on Tesla. Amazon, pretty much we talk about Amazon, and of course we're looking at that 190 as support. MU also, we have that channel right here. See, price has actually been rejecting the 200 moving average area, so nothing really much. If we find support somewhere around here, then with next spot is going to be what, the 200 moving average again. So keep an eye out. Google as well, back to support, failed support, and right now we're in the middle of nowhere. 150 is going to be the next level of support. I did pick some of this TJT last week, and I'm expecting price action right here. Support is going to be $100. However, this has a bearish flag looking at this point, so I'm expecting some form of a bounce off this level to at least 110 or even 115 in the coming days. Also, not forgetting JP Morgan, of course. JP Morgan, at this point we're looking at head and shoulder pattern right here, and of course rejected that right side, and looking at 20 exponential moving average right here. Find next support right here is going to be the 240, so keep an eye out on the 240 area for support in continuation to the upside as per the market action. Guys, these are your stocks, and of course the remaining stocks, the remaining chart, I'm going to post them up on my stock tweet and on X account, Twitter account. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for spending your weekend with me. Peace and love, guys. Bye bye.